Well, good morning, guys. Pastor Steve here. Just wanted to share a brief meditation with you. Today I've been meditating in the book of Isaiah and in chapter 40, and specifically in verses 12 through 14. So I wanted to read those for you this morning. The scripture says, "Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, or marked off the heavens with the span of his hand? Who has gathered the dust of the earth in a measure, or weighed the mountains in a balance, and the hills in the scales? Who has directed the Spirit of the Lord, or who gave him his counsel? Who did he consult with? Who gave him understanding and taught him the paths of justice? Who taught him knowledge and showed him the way of understanding?" So in the context of Isaiah 40, the Lord starts by addressing the need of his people for comfort as they are in very tumultuous times. And so because they need comfort, the Lord references the coming of the Messiah, who will forgive sins. He then goes to say that the Messiah will come with power and strength. He will bring gifts, but in addition to all that, he will also care for the young. He will care for his own like a shepherd. And he will be gentle with the little ones. So then God goes into this comparison of how great he is. Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, or marked off the heavens with the span of his hand? The illustration here is one of incredible magnitude. It's just unbelievable what God has done. But in context, he is specifically addressing the questions that arise about how could he take away sins? How could he bring his peace in such a way? How could someone with such great power be so gentle with those that are so young and weak and need such great protection? And to answer this, he creates an unparalleled illustration. And he says, "Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand?" In other words, God can cup his hand and measure out the waters from the earth just by cupping his hand. Seems unfathomable. Who has marked off the heavens with the span of his hand, the distance from the elbow to the tip of the finger? Who has marked off the heavens as such a simple thing to measure? Who has gathered the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in a balance, and the hills in the scales? God is so great, we could not possibly begin to understand his power or the way that he works. This is supposed to blow our minds, and specifically because we need to have our minds blown about how great God is, so that the method of his salvation seems plausible as opposed to impossible. So it then says, "Who has directed the Spirit of the Lord, or who gave him his counsel?" Once again, if it doesn't seem possible for God to offer salvation and hope through the Messiah, well, who were you to give him counsel on it? Who was there? Obviously, the answer is no one. No one gave him counsel. No one directed his spirit for this plan. He came up with it. It was his plan. Who are you to question it? Then lastly, who did he consult with? Who gave him understanding and taught him the paths of justice? Who taught him knowledge and showed him the way of understanding? Did God consult with somebody? So maybe you didn't, but did he consult with somebody? Did he hire somebody, an expert? Right? Of course, the answer is no. Who gave him the understanding to do this? Who said, "God, I'm going to show you how to do this"? The answer is no one, of course. And then, who taught him the paths of justice? So, God, it's not fair. Okay, So it's not fair for God to offer forgiveness. It's not fair for God to forgive sins and to offer sanctification from our sinfulness. It's not who taught him the paths of justice. So it isn't fair. He is the one who created justice. Who taught him knowledge and showed him the way of understanding. Who is going to have the arrogance to instruct God that his way of establishing salvation and forgiveness is somehow insufficient, somehow lacking, or somehow so beyond my understanding that he should have dumbed it down? And so clearly the answer is, shut up, stupid human, and be thankful for God's unbelievable gift of salvation. At least that's what I take from it. Maybe you'll take from it something a little bit gentler or nicer sounding. But it's not my job to understand God so fully so as to approve of his plan. It is my job to accept it by faith and be thankful that he has offered forgiveness of sins through the Messiah. Well, I know this is such an encouragement and blessing for me today. I hope it is for you as well. God bless you. Go in peace.